In today's video, we're going to be talking about why peace is so much more important than happiness and why you should stop chasing happiness and find your inner peace. Okay, so first we're going to start off by defining happiness and peace. Okay, most people already know what happiness is. Happiness is that dopamine spike that happens when you're doing something that either benefits you or negatively affects you, but gives you some sort of dopamine release, right? That is what happiness is, okay? That being said, like I mentioned, you can have good things that are going to bring you happiness, and you can also have bad things that are going to bring you happiness. So if you, for instance, you hit a good workout and then, you look in the mirror and you look good, right? That might spike your dopamine. That's a good thing, right? But then you also might go to a party and smoke some weed, and then that's going to spike your dopamine, right? And if you're not using it for a medical purpose or using it with intention, then it's probably a bad thing that you are doing that, right? On the other hand, we have being at peace, which is oftentimes can be, it's kind of confused with happiness, but peace, you can be upset and be at peace. You can be happy and be at peace. Being at peace is the inner contentment with any time, any place that you are experiencing, right? So it's not like you're waiting on a hit of a drug inside your brain or anything like that. You're just there and you appreciate where you are, no matter if it's good or bad, okay? This peace comes from an understanding that everything in this universe is balanced, and you have faith in the fact that all negative things have positive consequences, and all positive things eventually come back down and the cycle repeats. Okay? So even when you're at a high point, you understand that there will be a low point, but you appreciate that low point because of the fact that it's going to result in a high point. Okay? So no matter where you are on the curve, you are at peace with it. Okay? This peace is oftentimes found when you are searching, or not necessarily searching, but when you are fulfilling your purpose. And we're going to talk about that a little later, exactly what I believe purpose is. But for now, I want to give you an example. There's two people at a restaurant, right? And one of them is still chasing happiness, and the other one is at peace in life, okay? This person who is chasing happiness, what they're going to experience during that dinner is they're going to have hunger, obviously, while they're waiting on the food. And that hunger is going to spike some sort of negative emotion inside of them, right? So they're going to get impatient and they might get a little irritable and they might, get upset about the fact that their stomach hurts. Maybe they haven't eaten all day and they're going to get mad at the traffic on the way there and they're going to rush the people that are stopping them from getting to the restaurant sooner. They're going to get upset at the waitress for taking too long or the chef or whatever it is. And if their food comes out bad, oh God, don't let that happen, right? All of those things are allowing, or that person is allowing all of those things to control them because of the fact that they don't appreciate the balance in life. And all they're seeing is things as they come. And if a bad things come, now they're upset. If a bad thing comes, now they're upset. If a good thing comes, now they're happy. Boop. So whenever that food comes, now they're like, oh, and they're shoveling the food in their mouth and they're super happy to, now have that food. But then all the time before that, they were not content, they were not happy, and they didn't have control over their emotions. Okay? On the other hand, we have the person that is content, right? Sitting just across from the table. They had the same experience of whatever, getting stuck in traffic, waiter messed up their order, whatever it is, right? But during those time periods, they're not upset about it because they understand that all of the negative things in life will build you into something better, right? Or not necessarily you specifically, but have positive outcomes in general. So when they're sitting at that table and their stomach is hollow and the time's ticking and they're getting hungrier and hungrier, the things that are irritating the other gentleman, are not irritating this person who's at peace because they understand, they're thinking in their head, ooh, I'm so glad I'm hungry right now because this food is gonna hit. They're like, oh man, I'm kind of glad that or maybe they might not be glad that the waitress or waiter messed up the order or anything, but they're not sitting there upset about it because they understand that, okay, this is just going to make me a more patient person. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with being a more patient person. Cool. And they actually are able to receive the benefit from these negative things. But the other person who is getting impatient, and getting irritated about it, they're not receiving the benefit from those negative things. All they're doing is taking that in and spewing the negative emotion back into their environment. So instead of them taking that negativity and letting it build upon them as you should if you were at peace, what they're doing is they're taking that negativity and just spitting it back out into their environment. You should welcome it. You should allow it to get inside of you, and you should allow it to say, I feel bad about this, but that's okay. Because each and every one of these bad things that happens tonight, whether it was the traffic or the messed up order or they're just taking too long or whatever it is, if you allow it, it will build you into a better person. But what most people do is they just spit it back into their environment, and because they're chasing happiness. If it ain't bringing me happiness, I don't want it, is what a lot of people say. But I make the argument that it's much, much better to be that person who is at peace. So it doesn't matter. Who cares? If a happy thing comes along my way, I'm going to accept it with open arms. And if a bad thing, an upset thing, a negative thing happens, I'm going to accept it with open arms. These are the type of people that you see in life, and they just seem to go with the flow, and you can't really understand why. Like, why are you not screaming? There's an earthquake. But they're not worried about it because they're at peace. All right. So for instance, like the chasing happiness thing. If you want to go about chasing happiness, what tends to happen is it'll run away from you. Okay. So instead of chasing happiness, right, then we need to look for that inner peace. Okay. Because if you're chasing things, you're going to scare them off. All right. If you're telling a woman, if you're in a bar with a woman, I'm sure guys, maybe you've experienced this, maybe women, you've experienced the inverse. If you are sitting there trying to convince this person how great you are, and trying to sit there and say cool stories about yourself and all this and all that, you're probably not going to get much of anywhere, because of the fact that they see that you're trying to project some image onto them that's not actually who you are, right? And maybe you might fool them for a little bit, but eventually, either they're going to match your vibe and be just as fake as you are, and you guys can go live happily ever after, even though it's not actually happily ever after, you're both miserable, or they're going to see through your BS and realize that, okay, this person isn't actually content with who they are. They don't actually even believe that they are all these things that they say they are. They're just telling me that because they want a little bit of me, right? And allowing that person to get close to you is going to take pieces out of you, right? It's going to bring more negative stuff to you, which if you want to welcome that, you can. But I highly encourage you to choose the negatives that come into your life. And that is an option that you have if you are able to take control of your life. So instead of running from things and chasing other things, all you need to do is welcome the negatives. Hey, if I got a problem in my brain or my body or whatever it is, full force, send it. Go straight after it. And when you start doing that, you're going to find that those things that you've been chasing start to come to you. And I'm not saying go out and look for pain, I'm not saying, you can do that. If you want to do that, you can do that. If you want to go run around the block 10 times barefoot, I've done that before. I can't do it consistently, or I haven't done it consistently at least. Can do anything I want. But you can do that. If you're searching for pain, you can do it. And it will build you, just the same as that pain that comes in and you welcome it. But as long as you're accepting of it, then you're going to be able to build yourself into a better person. Don't spit it back into your environment. It hurts other people and it hurts you. It scares them off, and it doesn't allow you to attract the things that you really want in life, okay? So for instance, if you're at the bar, right? Again, so in the same instance, if you're trying to attract a partner, right? Don't sit there and tell everybody how cool you are. Just be cool. Don't sit there and try to convince. Don't sit there and try to get close to her. Don't worry. what is the point? She's not going to want any of that because she's going to understand that, oh, if I don't accept this stuff, if I don't reply to him in the way he wants, he's going to get upset because he's not actually content when he walks out of this bar without a woman. Oh. If you're able to be content walking out of that bar without a woman, if you're able to be content doing the work without reward, that's when you get the real treasure. Okay? I want to talk about what is going to bring that that peace much quicker, right? Because a lot of people, you might say like, okay, but I'm content with where I'm at, but doesn't that mean that I should still, that kind of means I should stop working, right? Like if you're content with where you are, if you're at peace, and you don't want to chase things, and you can go towards the pain, but like, so that means that my life is just whatever? It's not what I make of it? No. Let me explain. Because of the fact that true peace, if you want to relinquish that guilt that you feel, if you want to stop regretting things and feeling bad for stuff, then what you need to do is start moving with purpose, okay? And what I believe is that purpose, human purpose, is to love, create, and serve. So if you begin to do loving, creative, and serviceful things, it tends to make you feel purposeful. And while you're doing those things, I can almost guarantee you, you will be at peace. So here's the exercise that I want you to do. I want you to write down 3 things, 3 small things that involve loving, creating, or serving, and go do them. And then write down how it made you feel. Write down what happened in here when you did that thing. And what I'm hoping that this does is it creates a snowball effect, because you're going to realize what I'm talking about is not BS. It's science. It works for everybody. It's the balance of our universe. These are, I don't want to get too religious, but these are God-written principles. And if you follow them, they work 100% of the time. So write down 3 small things, and these are things like complimenting somebody, right? Giving somebody a compliment. That's huge, all right? And it's such a small thing that you can do, and but it puts so much positive energy out into the universe that you are going to feel good after that. And it's not this crazy dopamine spike either. It's just, wow, that made me feel good. I am more at peace than I was just 2 seconds ago, before I got over the urge, or got over my nerves and actually said that thing to that person. And I don't know, maybe you're a super talkative person, so maybe you compliment people all the time. Write down some things that you're not doing, all right? And what I encourage you to do is tell other people in the comments, say, I'm going to do this today. Put it out there. Start that manifestation. Put it in the comments. Say that you did that. And then come back and tell others how it actually made you feel. Because of the fact that that's going to help other people not only get inspiration for things that they should do, but it's going to reinforce the words that are coming out of my mouth, and it's going to make this world a better place one step at a time. By helping people understand that, okay, he did that and he felt that way, let me try it. I guarantee you benefit from it. But that's all I got for you guys today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please drop a comment. Let me know what I'm doing right. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. I really hope that you guys are enjoying this content. I hope I got this video short enough. I did take a whole recording before this. It was 27 minutes, which I was like, I got to do that again. But regardless, I hope you guys appreciate it. Remember, love, create, serve. God bless you all. Subscribe if you want more. And good luck out there, guys.